My name is Semothy Jones. I am a music producer slash songwriter from the UK. I've been listed in NME's top 20 producers. And it's weird because like NME is quite a cool magazine. They normally like cool people, and where I do pop. So NME, to list me in the top 20, I was like, what, really? And then it was like people like Rick Rubin, like just massive people, and it was just crazy that I was even listed in the same kind of bracket as them people, but obviously doing something right. I was 8 years old and my parents had just had like a big house party, and this song called Get a Life came on. It's these little kids kind of like, what's the meaning of life? And I was 8 years old and I was just kind of, I stopped everything I was doing. I was just like, there's little kids on this. Like, how did they do that? Like, I want to do that. One of my friends was like, there's this new software and it's got everything included. Drum machine, it's got all that stuff all in one package. The way Reason looks like hardware, it just kind of, for me, it felt more natural. It can be as technical or as easy as you kind of want it to. I still didn't even know what a producer was at these times. Like, I still didn't know what the roles were and stuff. I just knew that I wanted to make music and that I couldn't rap, I couldn't sing. What am I? You couldn't like just Google, like, I make beats, what am I? Me and a guy called Professor Green did a track together, kind of remake of That'd Be Good to Me. He was chatting to Lily Allen. She was like, what, you've done a remake of this? I need to be on this, I need to do the chorus on this track. Because the original was produced by Jam and Lewis, we had to send it off to them to get the clearance. And like apparently they heard the track and they just kind of went crazy and loved it. And so we had like Jam and Lewis saying like, yes, we like your version. Lily Allen jumped on the chorus and me and Green were just like, how did this happen? This is just crazy. For me, the most important thing from the That'd Be Good to Me version was the bass. So I was like, if we're gonna do this, I want to bring something new to it. So we did this weird kind of bass synth. Like, it's half kind of dubsteppy. That bass line was just created using a mouse drum all on its own. It's got kind of automation on the rate. But that's the kind of main element of the track, is this kind of riff that plays throughout the whole thing. And then you can see the rate kind of just going. So basically I just kind of, yeah, made this sound, which kind of on its own was just like that. So then I'd play it and then just move this kind of up and down around to the sound that I wanted, and then I just kind of layered that with this. So I would just keep adding and adding and adding till it gets to a point where it feels like a vocal on top would struggle to kind of stand out, and then I would kind of strip things back and be like, okay, this can come out, that can come out. The funniest part of this track though is trying to get a harmonica to sound real. Like, I thought it was impossible, but I actually managed to pull it off for a reason, which is, I was impressed with that. To actually, yeah, save myself having to go find a busker or someone. Like, I was like, how do you find someone who plays the harmonica? I was like, oof. So yeah, thankfully I didn't have to go find no hobo or something. We went online and there was like people uploading video clips of it, like, oh my god, there's a new Lily Allen song, and it went to #2 in the charts behind Eminem's album, so we did good, we did good. A lot of music is made by trying to recreate something that you love and doing it so badly that you make it your own. You know, it kind of ends up its own thing. A lot of people make great music by mistake. When I listen to music, I visualize it as if it's kind of in Reason or something, and I can see how they've made it, how it's laid out. My head's just like this kind of decoder for music now. My mentor is music itself. Nobody really sat me down and was like, you need to press this button and this needs to be patched into here, and half of the fun is kind of messing around, seeing what works. I want the software to be as fast as my idea. You don't get to a certain point where you're like, okay, I know everything now. I'm set. There's still parts of Reason that I don't understand, but that's what keeps me kind of going back to it, is the thought that there's still so much more that can be done. But the cool thing about Reason is, like, I felt like as my career grew, Reason just perfectly grew with me.